When I finally found the courage to ask for what I needed, he didn't just dismiss me. He rolled his eyes. I felt small, dumb, like maybe I was broken for even wanting to feel good. But I wasn't broken. I was waking up. And when I did, he lost more than just control over me. He lost the girl he thought would stay quiet forever. If you've ever felt unheard, disrespected, or used, especially by someone you trusted with your heart, hit that like button and subscribe. Because this is a story of finding your voice and making sure no one ever dares to silence it again. I was 18. First love, first everything. I grew up believing being nice was the way to be loved. Be chill, don't complain, be cool. So I tried. I did what I thought girlfriends were supposed to do. My boyfriend, let's call him Jake, was 21, older, more experienced, confident, in the cocky kind of way that makes a teenager feel lucky to be chosen. He complimented my looks, said I was low maintenance. That word made me feel proud at first. But it's funny how low maintenance can also mean easy to ignore. We started being intimate about a month into dating. And, well, I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know how to say no, or slow down, or even what foreplay meant beyond kissing. And he never asked. It was always the same, rushed, goal-oriented, like a chore he had to finish. And I thought, maybe that's normal. Maybe this is what it's supposed to feel like. But I didn't feel much of anything. Not pleasure, not safety, not intimacy, just silence, just going along with it. It started with a TikTok of all things. Some woman explaining the importance of foreplay, of communication, of how most women need time, touch, emotional presence. The comments were filled with other women saying, yes, yes, yes. It was like something cracked open inside me. I wasn't broken. I wasn't needy. I was just normal, human. For the first time, I saw my own silence not as strength, but as abandonment of myself. So I did something brave. One night after dinner, I told Jake, "Hey, I was thinking maybe we could try slowing things down. More kissing, more touch. I think I'd enjoy it more that way." He looked at me like I'd asked him to recite Shakespeare. "Why now?" he scoffed. "You never said anything before." "I like it how it is." Then he rolled his eyes. Actually rolled his eyes. And something in me shattered. All the build-up, the courage, the vulnerability, was met with dismissal. It wasn't just about sex. It was about how he saw me. I wasn't a partner. I was an appliance, a tool for his pleasure. And any attempt to step outside of that made me difficult. I cried in the bathroom that night, quietly. I looked in the mirror and hated how weak I looked. A voice in my head whispered, "Maybe he's right. Maybe you're being dramatic. Maybe this is what all men are like." But another voice, a new one, louder, angrier, pushed back. "No, you're allowed to have needs. You're allowed to be touched with care. You're allowed to be heard." And that night, I Googled something I never thought I'd type. How to know if your boyfriend respects you. I went down a rabbit hole. Reddit threads, articles, relationship coaches on YouTube. The pattern was always the same. Dismissiveness, lack of curiosity about your experience, making you feel stupid for speaking up. Check, check, check. But the thing that really stayed with me was one post that said, "If someone makes you feel small for wanting more, they're scared of losing control." I wasn't the problem. He was. The next few days, I became an observer. I watched how Jake reacted when I spoke. He interrupted constantly, talked over me, laughed when I brought up my goals for college, saying, "You'll probably drop out after a semester." And something clicked. This wasn't love. This was control. Dressed up in compliments and kisses. He didn't want a girlfriend. He wanted a mirror. Something to reflect his ego back at him. Not a person. Not someone who challenged him. So I made a decision. I wouldn't leave. Not yet. I wanted to show him what he threw away. To make him see everything he never valued. And then I'd leave. On my terms. I started with small changes. I started dressing for me. Not for him. Not hot in a way that catered to his gaze. But powerful. I started wearing perfume that made me feel grounded. Started journaling, going on walks, watching creators who spoke truth into the cracks of my confidence. And then I did something bold. I bought a book on intimacy. Real intimacy. One that talked about communication, touch, trauma, healing. Jake laughed when he saw it on my desk. "What's that for? Are you trying to fix me or something?" I smiled, calmly. "No, I'm fixing me." That shut him up. But it didn't stop the mockery. He started pulling away. Less texts, more sarcasm, more nights, too tired. I knew the ending was near, but I wasn't scared. I was building towards something. A version of me that didn't need his approval to exist. The night everything changed, we were at his place. He wanted sex, I wasn't feeling it. I told him, gently. He sighed, threw his head back. "God, you're so sensitive lately. I miss when you were cool." Cool. Cool meant silent. Cool meant compliant. Cool meant pretending my body was his playground, not my own. I stood up. I looked him in the eye. "You don't miss me, Jake. You miss the version of me who didn't know she deserved better." He laughed. "Don't be dramatic." So I left. No yelling. No crying. Just a quiet dignity that shook him more than any scream ever could. This is where it gets satisfying. 2 weeks after I left, he texted me, "Hey, been thinking about you. Wanna hang out?" I didn't reply. 2 days later, "I miss us. I have been reading about the stuff you said. I get it now." Still silent. Then the full-on guilt trip. "You're just gonna ghost me after everything we had? That's cold. You know what's cold. Rolling your eyes at someone you claim to love." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Because he was watching my glow up in real time. I started posting pictures. Not thirst traps, but alive ones. Smiling with friends. Hiking. Reading. Existing. I could see him watching my stories. Every single one. He messaged again. "You look good. You seem happy." I was. But the best revenge wasn't making him jealous. It was this one unshakable truth. I didn't need him. I never did. I just needed to remember who I was before he made me. 1 month later, I got a message from one of his friends, a guy I barely knew. "Yo, Jake's been kinda spiraling, keeps talking about how he messed up with you. He said you changed. I had. And he was right. I was different now. Because once you taste freedom, validation feels like a feast after a famine. The best part? He'll never get a second chance to ruin it. He'll always remember me as the girl who walked away without needing to scream. Because silence, the right kind, is powerful. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. More tenderness. More girl, more presence. The only wrong thing is being made to feel ashamed for asking. If someone can't meet you where you are, they don't deserve to walk beside you. If this story hit deep, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. What's one time you stood up for yourself and didn't look back? And remember, your needs aren't extra. They're human. And anyone who makes you feel like less than that, they're the ones who don't measure up.